First off, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone, and a sincere peace and salutations to all the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Salaki, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakah HaKadosh. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to all the Akim pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Hey, this is another edition, another episode of The Milk. This will be episode 11. I'm entitled, Lord's Willing, Matthew 7 and 6. And I'm going to read it. It's a well-known scripture that all brothers know. But again, the point of The Milk is very, very basic breakdowns, very, very basic advice for brothers that's just coming in. You know, babes, newborn babes, you know. Obviously, still in myself, I'm still a babe in this thing. You know, very young man, you know, very young baby. But, you know, I understand how it is when you first come into this truth and first come into this thing. And, you know, it's just a couple warnings. You know, this not going to be a long video at all, but it's just a warning for young brothers when they first come in, you know. This is Matthew 7 and 6. And it reads, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you." Right? Because why shouldn't you cast your pearls among swine? Is because what is the pearls? The pearls is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The pearls is things like the name, you know, like having the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and the understanding to have the comfort in the times to come, which is Jacob's trouble. So, you know, just a lot of brothers' testimonies in this truth is they all, once they got the knowledge, once they started to receive and understand, we all tend to have done the same thing, and that's go home and try to tell all your loved ones this truth, you know. And it's always 9 times out of 10 turned out into being an argument, a disagreement, you know. Your family pretty much shunned you. You know, you immediately turned into the outcast, because why? Most brothers' family is Christians, some brothers Muslims, you know, some families just don't believe in the Bible, which honestly, that's probably the better situation than having to deal with a Christian, Jehovah's Witness, a Muslim, or something to that sort, you know. But, you know, the point is, you know, brothers will go and try to tell them about, okay, just a quick example, you know, his name is not Jesus, it's Yahushua. Now, that's a pearl that it says what? It says that they're going to go and trample them under their feet, you know, and turn and rend you, you know. They going to treat the name of Yahushua like dirt, you know, and it's going really, you will have to pay for that, because that's a sacred name. That's a, you know, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, you know. That's an important name, you know, to have, you know. You don't just give anybody the name, you know. So say you give them the name and then they go and treat the name like dirt, that's on you. You feel me? So this is Matthew 13 and 57. It says, "And they were offended in him, but Yahushua said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and his own house." Right, now this is in the time where Yahushua was rejected in Nazareth. Now this is when Yahushua was pretty much proclaiming whom he was and things to that nature. And it was, you know, we all know Yahushua was from Nazareth, or that's where he grew up, you know. So outside of there is where he was really received, a large multitude followed them, and things like that. But in Nazareth, that's where they was like, man, ain't this Joseph's son? Ain't this Joseph and Mary's son? How can he proclaim to be such? And that's the same thing that's going to happen to you on a smaller level, of course. But that's the same thing that's going to happen to you. You send out these pearls and your knowledge that you received from most likely the men of the Lord. It'll be received better by someone that don't know you. Someone that has no knowledge of you, because then when you speak, because really you always make sense. You're going to make sense. It's just these words are cutting. It's gonna cut you to the soul. So when you go home and you be like, look, you gotta stop doing this, you gotta stop doing this, you gotta stop doing that, you gotta stop celebrating Christmas, you gotta stop eating this pork, you gotta stop eating the shrimp, crab, lobster, all the stuff that the Jake love. And they're gonna deny it. They're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then you tell them the Lord gonna put you to death if you don't. That's cutting. That's hurting to the soul, to the soul. And they're gonna be like, man, who do you think you are? That's why it says a prophet is without honor, save in his own country and his own house, because they gonna be like, man, I've known you all your life. How you just gonna come out of nowhere, out of the blue? You wake up one morning and then now you telling me you a prophet of the Lord. You a prophet of the Most High, man. Who is you? That's the energy you gonna get. So you gotta be careful when you come in and want to save everybody, because the scriptures plainly tell you this is not for everybody. The scriptures say, for many are called, but few are chosen, meaning that there's a select few people that's going to be saved. And you got to understand that it was our people that decided to put Yahushua on the cross. So 2/3 of our people are going to be taken out. So your best bet is to do this work. Pray for your family. And Lord's will, they be saved through you. Now, if they along the line start to get this knowledge, if you throw out you be subtle with it, then eventually maybe the Lord open up their mind to get it. But you can't force this onto them. You want to move like the serpent. You want to be smart. Because then they're going to become your enemies. And this is Matthew 10:36. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. You see? Right. It should be they of his own household. Because why? That's where that friction is going to start. We hear all type of testimonies where brothers got kicked out of their house. Brothers got denounced by their family. That's why brothers teach, and it's the truth, that the brotherhood is your real family. That's who you lean on to. And you're going to go through your stripes, you're going to go through your bickerings with your brotherhood, and that's normal. We're in the flesh. But you got to understand that this is your true family. And that's not to say you're not supposed to love your mother, love your father, your children if you have it, your brother, your sister, That's not to say that, but that's to say, really, the scriptures say, too much is given, much is required, and you are responsible for what you know. So if you giving them something that they can't handle, they're still responsible for what you have told them. You get it? You feel me? So you got to understand, when you give them this knowledge, they are responsible for this. So when you telling them, look, you can't do this, you can't do that, and then they go and do that stripes on their back once they do it again. The scriptures say that he wink at our ignorance. Ignorant meaning pretty much without knowledge. Without knowledge of. So when you give them knowledge of something, now it's not in ignorance. They're within the know, rather that whether the spirit was on them or not. You want them. Like when brothers is out there preaching and teaching, and we say, oh, all these people are being marked. Whether they listening or not, they being marked because they had the opportunity to know. You know, so when you get this knowledge, you don't want to go home and then be like, you know, hey, we Hebrew Israelites, we this, we that, you try in your own way to give them the knowledge, but once you see that they're not receiving it, you just don't want to force it onto them, you know. And then the scriptures say again, Matthew 7:6, it says, "Cast not your pearls before swine." They are swine. Why are they swine? Because they are unclean. You know, they are spiritually uncircumcised. You know, and we are spiritually. You should be circumcised physically, but we are spiritually circumcised with this knowledge. You understand? So I'm not going to keep going on. That's just another quick advice, another episode of the Milk 11. Lord's willing, brothers was edified. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rakah, Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone, and a sincere peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing this word of truth, sincerity, Shalom.